It's Monday afternoon on the campus of Alabama State University. Head coach Coach Cooley decided to step foot in the wide receiver quarterback film session. Now, don't worry about the defense. I'll take care of them later. But right now, we're going to look at every situation in last week's game against West Virginia that cost us on offense. So roll the clip. Okay, first and foremost, what's this? Newton stepping back, good pass there. Tim Brown, you cannot do this. I know there was a bad call by the referee, but you cannot force them to make this call. Never put the game in the hands of the officials. You know that they don't make good calls. Next, oh yes, the Ohio State Buckeye transfer. Kevin, you got to make those catches. Tim Brown again. Look at this. That eventually led to what? A 21-7 lead for them, right? Kevin Scott, you came here for a reason. You came here to make a name for yourself. Instead, you're already known for dropping multiple balls. You think NFL scouts are going to look at this and draft you? Hell no. Get it together, son. Jason White, that was you right there. Bobby, I haven't forgotten about you either. You made a couple of bad passes in this game. Now, the reason why I called these two run plays right here is because I lost faith in y'all. Yes, that's right. I lost faith in y'all. Don't make me have to make this decision again. So since y'all like to drop a lot of passes, this is what we're going to do for the rest of the season. Every pass you drop, you owe me 2 rounds of 100-yard sprints. That's a total of 400 yards. You will be doing this for the rest of the season every time you drop a pass in a game. So that means you drop 1, you give me 2 rounds. You drop 2, you give me 4 rounds. You drop 3, you give me 6 rounds. And it keeps going up just like that. Now, I would applaud y'all for putting up a fight against West Virginia. But we had many chances to put the game away and even get in the lead. So y'all better get y'all mind right before practice today. We're going very hard. And y'all better be working y'all ass off too. Ladies and gentlemen, the Sting is back for season 3. The show that keeps you up to date with not only Alabama State football, but news, updates, and coverage around the HBCU world as well. Season 3 starts off with a bang, but not in favor of the Hornets. Before we went up to Morgantown, played the West Virginia Mountaineers, and we come back home with a heartbreaking defeat. The offense kept dropping passes, and the defense was not able to stop Patrick White when necessary. So let's look at the rest of the HBCU world as UConn takes care of Arkansas Pine Bluff. Minnesota beats Prairie View A&M. Bethune-Cookman lose to Purdue. 14th ranked Iowa beat up on Southern. Good Lord. The Michigan Wolverines just had their way with the Jackson State Tigers in Ann Arbor. Meanwhile, in Huntsville, Alabama A&M lost to BYU. Iowa State took care of Mississippi Valley State 31-14. Up in Kansas, Grambling State put up a fight against Kansas, but it just wasn't enough. And then Alcorn State loses to Arizona State in Tempe, Arizona. Meanwhile, over at the Sun Belt, aka the MEAC, UTEP and Norfolk had a shootout. Navy squeaked through Tennessee State. Arizona beat up on Delaware State. Tulsa beat Howard 49-7. I think Howard's lost like 15, 16 games in a row now. 7th ranked South Carolina beat up on South Carolina State. New Mexico beat Hampton. Mississippi State beat Morgan State up in the Baltimore area. And finally, Georgia put up 45 points on North Carolina A&T. Lamont Bush and Dave Gibson are the Max Swag players of the week. Goodness, Lamont Bush had over 200 yards receiving. Wow. Stephen Rush and John Johnson are both named Sunbelt MEAC Offensive and Defensive Players of the Week. Now, Justin Chambers went down on the Heisman watch list. Even though he had a good game, just over 100 yards rushing with 11 yards receiving, but it wasn't enough as far as his standards. Everybody else that's above him on the list had a pretty solid first game. And in most cases, some of them are in their second game of the season. Now, the Hornets are off for week 3. But the week 3 results look like this in the MAC SWAC. So you have FAMU just getting destroyed by Clemson. Arkansas took care of Bethune-Cookman, but barely though. Didn't win by much. Texas Southern upsets Tulane 17-13. The HBCUs coming up. Alabama A&M put up a fight against Ohio State. Cincinnati beat Prairie View, Idaho beat Jackson State. The Tigers are now 0-2. Arkansas Pine Bluff just got destroyed again by Georgia Tech. Alcorn State just beat up on Tennessee State 49-28. Meanwhile, over at the Sun Belt, aka the MEAC, the Howard Bison have now lost 17 games in a row. Morgan State squeaks by them 41-38. Marshall beat Hampton 31-14. And of course, you saw this game with Alcorn State and Tennessee State. Then we go to Southern Miss beating up on Norfolk State 42-14. The 8th ranked Florida Gators struggled against North Carolina A&T. Yikes. Up in Louisville, South Carolina State took Louisville to overtime, but Louisville was triumphant. And then Oklahoma State beat up on Delaware State. So with non-HBCU news, the Seminoles of Florida State were in an overtime thriller versus the Iowa State Cyclones. And it looked like it was a really, really good game. As you see there, Wisconsin, they got upset by UNLV. But Florida State put up a show at Iowa State and escaped with a victory. Brian Merritt and Josh Hall were named MAC SWAC Players of the Week. Brian Merritt is a beast, over 400 yards passing, 28 of 36 and 6 touchdowns. Woo! Man, he balled out. Demetrius Fisher and Curtis Martinez are named MEAC Sunbelt Players of the Week. Fisher with over 150 yards rushing. Looks like Curtis Martinez had a scoop and score, whatever it is. But join us next time. It's our home opener in the Gump Town. We got the North Carolina A&T Aggies coming to town. I really do hate the fact that it says North Carolina A&T State. They could have just took the state shit. But yeah, we'll see y'all next time for our home opener against the Aggies in a MEAC SWAT Challenge. Peace.